in California, then they'll just go to Texas, or they'll go to Nevada, or they'll go to Canada, where D-Medic just entered the room. Hello, D-Medic. Who was in there with you?
Hey, boss.
Hey, boss. Hey, D-Medic. Right? You know, D-Medic, his house is going to be used for porn. That's how he's going to make money. They'll go film in his house.
House for shalom.
No. So, but I'm saying the truth. If you make it illegal in California or LA, you're not going to stop porn. You're just going to move it, and somebody else is going to make the money somewhere else. But you're not going to stop people who want to watch porn. You can't legislate that. You can't control what goes on. There's no way you're going to stop that. And that goes into the thing about the drugs. You can say, oh, I really hope people don't take hard drugs, and we can warn them of the dangers of hard drugs, and I absolutely agree with that. But at the same time, you can't say that drugs should be illegal. The war on drugs is a failure, and we should surrender. My favorite show on TV is Breaking Bad. And Breaking Bad is an extremely violent TV show. People get killed every week on that show. Okay? You never know, like, are these characters going to be around? It's like Sopranos, you know, like you have like a cast of characters, but you don't know how many of them are going to make it through the whole season because some get murdered. Okay? In Sopranos, it's not all about drugs, there's all kinds of things that are involved in. Breaking Bad is exclusively crystal meth. Anyone who watches Breaking Bad, I know it's Hollywood, but it's very similar in real life. With these cartels and these drug gangs, the Crips and the Bloods have been fighting over drug turf wars for years. The Mexican mafia, all of these people, it's because they're doing the black market drug scene. If you make crystal meth legal, you put the cartel out of business. You really don't even need to have a wall in Arizona anymore. You know why? You don't need that wall. You don't need a wall around anything because the dangerous people running in with the AKs and 47s aren't going to happen anymore. Because it's going to be taken over by other cutthroat people. It's going to be taken over by Pfizer and Merck and Squibb and all these other people who do drugs, who make them pharmaceuticals. And they're cutthroat and they will drive you out of business. But they don't use guns, at least that I'm aware of. The danger of prohibition should have been, and the lesson learned from Al Capone's days, is prohibition doesn't work. During the Prohibition years, you can't legislate this. People like Al Capone and the gangs and whatever are just going to bring it in illegally from Canada. D-Medic's going to give it to them as they cross the border. They're going to meet there, and that's what's going to happen. And instead of Al Capone, today we have other types of gangster kingpins, such as the Crips and the Bloods, or if you watch Breaking Bad, you know, you have guys like Gus, right? You're going to have the same problem because calls on the whole time that you make a drug, a chemical that people want, they're dependent on, whether it be alcohol, crystal meth, cocaine, marijuana, LSD, speed, it doesn't matter. People want this stuff, they're going to pay for it. Okay? And they're going to get it whether it's legal or not, and that's the end of the story. You can't stop people from taking drugs. You can't stop them from getting alcohol. But what happens is when you make it illegal, you cause violence, it brings death, it brings mayhem. Stop the violence, you want to cut the violence down, you want to make all drugs legal. Legal. No, Pfizer and Merck don't kill each other. They don't have shootouts in the middle of South Central LA and innocent people get shot in the crossfire. You never see that happening. You never see somebody from Squibb or Bristol Myers trying to sneak across the border, right, with a whole bunch of stuff. It doesn't work like that. It's all in the up and up. The biggest reason to legalize all drugs and all chemicals is you save lives. And as a rabbi and as someone who's involved in Torah and values life, you have, I'm telling you, if you're a Jew, you believe in Torah, you have to legalize these things because it will, if you don't, it causes violence. People die, innocent people will die because you won't legalize this stuff. So that's my take on that part. And as far as regulations, like they want to make regulations on condoms. Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
They want to make regulations on condoms. Porn is just going to give their finger to this. And they're just going to pick up from LA if that happens, and they're going to move to some other place. They'll do it in Mexico, in Japan, in China, whatever. If you put regulations on an industry, the industry will pick up and leave. And it's a lot easier for the porn industry to pick up and leave LA than it would be, let's say, for the other parts of the entertainment business, like, you know, the more legitimate studios, because they have a lot invested in their studios. What do you have to do to get a porn? You know, all you need is, like, you know, a digital camera. Like, you're halfway there. You got like a digital camera, and you go rent some Jew's house in the valley, and
I've got La Vitra too.
You've got, like, it doesn't. There's no real investment. Okay, so it's very easy for a porn company to pick up and move to Vegas, or pick up and move to Colorado. It doesn't take a lot. You just put down the word that you're going to come put the clamps on their business, and they're gone. And believe me, okay, California needs porn a lot more than the porn industry needs California, okay? But again, you're not going to stop porn, because at the bottom line is we can always download it. We can always get it from you know, Scandinavia or wherever it's good. We're going to get it. So we might as well have it being filmed here in LA. At least we can profit from it. That's my take on that. And finally, my last point was something along the lines of, you know what, I don't even remember, but...
so let me come in with some points and then you remember.
All right.
So porn reflects the area where it's shot. You say, oh, it doesn't matter if porn's not shot in California. Well, California porn has a certain ethos. First of all, you get a lot of hot chicks because they come to Southern California to be in real movies.
Okay.
And they can't make it.
I just remembered what it was. Can I interrupt?
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line between regular movies and porn? If a regular movie has a sex scene in it, right? You remember, like, Serpico? Not Serpico, I'm sorry. The guy with the when Al Pacino had a Scarface. It originally had an X rating. Do you remember this?
Uh-huh.
Where do you draw the line? Because when I was a kid, like, if it had
I drew it with cum shots. If there's more than 3 cum shots, I'd say it's a porn movie.
Best line of the night. Okay, Dematic liked that line. All right, you know what? You're gonna have to, like, sit down and draw the line.
Right there, cum shots.
You know, because it used to be like if it was like a...
Or even a penis entering a vagina, an anus, or a mouth. And you see it entering and coming out, and then re-entering. I say, like, at least 2 entrances. You see at least 2 enterings of another person's orifice. I would say porn.
What about if it's 2 women together? Can it ever be porn?
Yeah, if the tongue, you see the tongue entering either the vaginal
Listen to him,
or
he's
the
an
anal
expert.
cavity.
He's an expert on porn.
And I'd say it if it happens twice, because I can see how once could be dramatically justified.
Oh, here we go with
but if it happens
Voltaire,
twice,
Mr. Voltaire.
or if there are 3 cum shots,
okay,
or just 2 to the face.
What?
So 3 total, or at least 2 to the face. Then it's definitely a porn movie.
What if he, like, does it, you know, he, like, fucks her titties and shoots it on her...
That's for shallow.
And just shoots it on her breast. Is
3. Do that 3 times and it's a porn movie.
Oh, that's a porn movie. Okay, but less than that, it could be a dramatic feature and win an Oscar.
Yeah, if he does it less than 3 times.
Okay. He's the expert on porn, okay? He just gave the definition. So anything less than that would be covered by regular... Would be given, like, you know, just an X rating. But
NC-17.
NC-17? Okay. So, like, 17, like, you know, a couple cum shots, not so bad. It's a 17-year-old can handle it. But if there's 3, then it's already an X-rated, it's porn, and then, okay. Make your points now. Thank you for clarifying that.
Or 1 Rodney blast. For those of you who are acquainted with the oeuvre of Rodney Moore, I would say the equivalent of 1 Rodney blast or Peter North blast. That would equal like 3 ordinary cum shots. So you have to be able to measure the amount of the ejaculate. So if it's more than 2 tablespoons, it's a porn movie.
Oh, you want to do it by volume?
That's another way. I'm just thinking out loud. Like, I didn't come prepared for this discussion. I came prepared for Parsha talk. Oh, man.
Oh, we have sunk up. Okay, make your points. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm going to check out the chat room.
Porn reflects where it's shot. So porn shot in California, Southern California, has this like happy, easygoing vibe, and it's a lot of women who come here to be in real Hollywood, so the women tend to be really hot. Then San Francisco pawn shop in San Francisco and New York tends to be